Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Pixel Squirt, that podcast that we do where we talk about porn that's on the internet and it's about video games. There's no real consistency to the way I introduce this, but it's fine. This is what it is.
This is how we do it.
There's no competition.
Yeah, this is how we do it. I'm your host Laura and I'm here as ever with Mari.
Hello.
And Stacey.
Hello.
And we are here to talk about some porn yet again, because this is what we do. What kind of porn are we going to talk about this week?
Skyrim!
You know what my favourite thing of us picking Skyrim to be the porn to talk about this week was? Every time I think about, like, Skyrim porn, I just have a little bit of a giggle at the word rim is in Skyrim. Because I'm like, aha, there's a sex word in the name and we're looking at the porn. I feel like I'm very clever for having noticed this.
That's like every time people mention that game RimWorld.
Yeah, it sounds like a much more interesting game than I suspect it is.
I just hear it as Rimjob World and it cracks me up.
I'm not gonna lie, if that was a video game that existed, I would be curious about, like, oh, someone developed that, let's give it a look. So
I have a very dark past with Skyrim and mods. Some of these I was like, I know what mods they're using.
Yeah, there's one of them that I can guess. I think it's when we get to Skyrim sex with Serana. I'm guessing that's one of the mods,
Yeah, I love it. I love that mod. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like you progressively build a relationship with your spouse in order to unlock dirtier things to do with them. You have to like build trust with them and shit. It's awesome.
Do we want to start with talking about that one then, as we're on it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Skyrim. Sex with Serana. I'm sure that Serana is also a mod, but I love it.
Yeah,
this is so great.
My question about this, as someone who was like trying to piece this together, there was some voice acting at the beginning of this porn. Was that voice acting from like the base game? Was it voice acting specifically for the mod? Because I don't think there was anything explicitly sex related in the voice work.
So at the beginning, you basically profess your love for each other, and then you get married. And it shows, like, your little marriage ceremony. And I kind of like that they included that at the beginning.
Yeah, because that's the entire point of the mod. But, like, a lot of people who play Skyrim like to have a wife or a husband. And not just, like, fuck everyone. But there are mods where you can just cast spells on anyone in the world and they just start fucking each other or fucking you.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with those. As Mari and I know very well, it's a dangerous power.
The dangerous power that, if used unwisely, will result in dark things.
Yeah. See,
but I'm pretty
Oh, yeah, go on.
But a lot of the companion mods, they'll have somebody who voice acts some of the lines for the thing.
Yeah, it did seem pretty starkly like the lines that are about romance and the deepening relationship were all there, and as soon as it gets to like, let's get down to dirty fucking talk, like that's when it's like, we haven't got anyone voicing this.
You're gonna have to read this part yourself.
I did enjoy that wedding as a setup because it, for someone that's really stupidly sentimental when it comes to enjoying porn, I'm like, I like that I can see that they got married and that this, all of this implies that this is a nice consensual thing that's going on. That's nice setup that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
think I'm gonna look up if Serana's a mod. Serana Skyrim.
But yeah, I think the first, maybe it's either the first or one of the first lines that isn't voiced is where she says, "My pussy aches for you." And I was like, "Oh, we've crossed over."
Yeah.
Serana is the one of the companions for the Dawnguard DLC. She is one of the first vampires ever.
Yeah. And here you can fuck her. So this was like not the best put together like CGI porn we've seen. There were some very interesting choices in how they tried to make things look right. My favourite one is that the boobs don't bounce, the nipples do. The nipples slide up and down the boob to give the illusion of bouncing breasts.
So this was very interesting to me because there were some parts where the boob bounce. So if she is basically on all fours, the boobs would kind of like shift forward if, she was being fucked. But if she was like moving around in any other position, it was like she was a blow-up doll and they didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, but she was a blow-up doll with nipples that slid up and down the boob.
I know. And like usually if the boobs aren't moving, like I noticed there were a couple parts where she literally looks like she's a blow-up doll just being moved around.
Yeah, it's odd in places. Like it doesn't look terrible that it's not moving, but it's the inconsistency is weird, and I think just highlights when things stop moving.
To be fair, this is not like an animated thing. This is just a series of mods put together, and this person, male or female, I don't know, is having sex with their, Skyrim lover, and it's not like the other ones where they, are animating the breast physics and stuff. These are a series of mods that happen default onto the character models of the game. So this is all, live recording.
This is all accurate, My perspective is still as someone watching it, I can probably guess why these things are inconsistent, but it's still inconsistent. Grumble, grumble, porn.
One of the things that I did really like about this one, though, was the huge variety of positions.
Oh, God, yeah. No, it was a lengthy video, and it went through so many positions and angles.
Yeah, and I didn't notice, at least I didn't notice any that made me go like, oh, come on, really? Like, a lot of these were like, yeah, okay. That is, like, an actual sexual position that real people do.
I think the person who makes the framework for this, you can go to loverslab.com, make an account. I'm letting you guys know where to go. I don't know all the mods this person is using, but if you go to loverslab.com, they have a whole bunch of mods, and then you can get, this framework and stuff and all this other shit, so that you can have these animations in your game, blah, blah, blah. It'll explain everything you need to know. It's great. It's amazing. And you can have any sexual experience you want. But the one I like, and I can't remember the name of it, I'm sure you can find it at loverslab.com, is where you build up a relationship with your spouse. And they even have sexy, consensual, non-consent roleplay in the marriage, where you are role-playing a thief going into the house, and they go, hey, what are you doing in my house? And you can either do it with the male or female, or female or male, doesn't matter. And it's like, why are you in my house? You can't be here, thief. I'm gonna punish you. It's really great. It's wonderful.
See, I really like the sound of that, because you've got the context initially of, hey, you're a married couple, you clearly know who each other are, to then highlight, hey, this is very clearly, this person doesn't actually not know who's in their house, because it's, consensual, non-consent roleplay.
And you have to build up your relationship with your spouse in order to unlock that roleplay.
Yeah, you've got to build up that trust and consent.
It takes time in-game. You start off, you can only, kiss softly. And then it unlocks, then you can have sex. Then you can do all this other stuff. Then you can have three-ways. Blah, 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 blah.
I did get a bit distracted during this one that during the entire porn, there was constantly a talk prompt present.
Oh my god, yes, I pointed that out too.
I couldn't stop looking at it. Yeah, it's well, maybe that's there to be you can do some sexy talk or something, but it felt like it was just press the button to have a standard conversation about what you're going to have for dinner or something. It was a very weird, there's your talk prompt. Do you want to have this conversation while you're doing sex?
I really liked her outfit at the beginning. Like, before they even get started on any of this, she's wearing one of those, like, bra cup things with the long skirt, and it looks like...
It's sexy.
Very sexy.
She's a sexy vampire.
Yeah. I did think it was a little funny that through a lot of the positions, he has gauntlets and boots and a hood on, but no clothes.
That's the Skyrim version of leaving your socks on during sex.
Well, you gotta leave the hood on so that you can be mysterious.
Who is this masked man?
Yeah.
Who is this pussy thief?
The other way to be mysterious is to have the camera clip through inside the person. This person has no insides. What's up with that? Ooh, mystery.
I think that's a call out to the not weird, but the anime thing where they'll just have a disembodied dick fucking you.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you know how in porns will be like POV and it's a dick just fucking people? In anime and other shit, they're like, no, the body's gone. Here's the dick, so you can have the best angle.
In the Mario porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the body becomes translucent and they just show the donger.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, the one thing I was a bit disappointed by was that there is music in the background. There's no sex sounds. It was disappointingly it's just kind of a soundtrack.
You know, I actually liked that.
The sex sounds in the mods I think they were using are pretty repetitive.
Yeah,
but they're good. They're good, but it's with all the positions they were doing and everything, repetitive.
Well, like, it doesn't necessarily need to be there the whole time, but just the occasional sound would be, wouldn't be bad.
So based on the order in which I watched these, this I watched after one of the other episodes we're going to talk about today, the immersive episode 3, and that one has like screaming and slapping the whole time, and so to go from that to like just music, I was like, oh, thank God.
Here's the difference, I guess, for me is if the sex sounds are too loud and too obnoxious, I can turn them down slightly and put my own music on. If the porn only has music, I can't turn the music down and turn porn sounds up. So, that's just me.
So are we moving on to Skyrim Immersive Porn Episode 3?
Why not? Let's jump into this one. We watched a couple of the Skyrim Immersive Porn episodes. We didn't watch them all or in any kind of order. We just kind of watched episodes 3 and 9 because
I feel like
the
person who makes Skyrim Immersive Porn is a great director because each of their episodes has completely different themes and feelings.
The viewers choose.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, you didn't notice that at the end of the episode? It said, you get to choose the actors and positions for the next episode, so leave a comment below.
That is a really interesting way to do this.
Because different premises have different, like, this person's in charge, or this gender's in charge, or this, like different things. It was cool.
Yeah, they switched everything up. It was interesting going from one to the other and seeing quite how different they were from each other. It wasn't just the same animations reused, the same positions. Here's just technically some new porn.
I like the POV pussy eating.
I wasn't so keen on that because I like it in theory, but the fact that there's like no tongue or anything, that it's just camera moving by the pussy, just wasn't quite doing it for me. And it annoyed me because I felt like
this is a role-playing game, Yeah. So you gotta. It's giving you. You're role-playing that the vagina's in your face.
Yeah. Well,
we should clarify. Skyrim Immersive Porn Episode 3 has Khajiit in it, which are cat people.
Yeah.
And I want to say, why is does this Khajiit wax her pussy?
Like,
why is it there? Like it would be painful.
You would think that a species that has fur all over would just be like, hey, I have fur, deal with it.
My headcanon for Khajiit vaginas is that it's not like human hair. It's like short and soft, like really short, but it's there.
Kind of like peach fuzz?
Yeah, like, thicker than peach fuzz. Like, if you're petting, like, I don't know. This is, I thought about this after watching this, like, what would their vagina look like?
So, I don't know. So, it's not like I found the pussy licking to be, the first person pussy licking to be stimulating. However, what I did appreciate was that to start the episode, we get a minute and a half of pussy licking before there is any dick.
I completely agree. Like, for my criticisms of just, like, it not working for me because of lack of tongue or whatever, I like that that's where we started, that it was just, we are just focusing on licking a pussy for a while.
Yeah. I felt like this episode to me felt very even in terms of who was getting pleasure
yeah.
And who was in charge, and it just, I don't know, it like felt really nice, especially like, you know?
Yeah, like...
Well, I know that we talk about consent a lot, but to be fair, we filter through a lot of porn that's just straight up brutal rape. So when we see anything that's not rape, we're like, it's not rape! Woo! Like,
yeah.
Like, you guys don't understand. I think, like, 80% of the porn that we find for video games is, like, just...
There's always something. Like, it's either that there's rape, or it was when trying to look for Pokemon porn, and it's like, oh god, this is all underage characters. Like, there's a lot of things you've got to filter through to find good video game porn.
And also, Tomb Raider.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
If you're into consensual non-consent porn, look up Tomb Raider. If you're not, don't ever look it up. Don't even think about it.
Yeah,
that is all that exists for Tomb Raider.
There's nothing that's consensual.
Yeah. Well, as you were saying before about, like, it's nice that there's a minute and a half before we see dick. In that first minute and a half, it's not even clear the gender of the person doing the licking. Like, they you know, that could be anyone doing it. It's like, that's a nice way to start. And eventually it does then, you know, cut back, and it's like, there's third person. It's human man whose proportions are slightly gangly, but not too much that it's a big problem.
Yeah, and we get, like, you know, a good variety of positions. We even get a 69, which I felt was kind of interesting, because I feel like that's not something that we see a lot, because at least from my memory, a lot of it is like blowjob or man fucking woman.
I think in the CGI stuff we don't see a lot of 69ing because it's really difficult to put two bodies on top of one another moving and have that look natural with character models.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an easy thing to do, so kudos to them for managing it.
The labia animation in this, pretty good, considering this is all just like models, right?
It was not bad. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it moves.
You know, lips part and things. It did the job.
Yeah, that's like, who made this, man?
And it shows her pleasuring herself.
Yeah,
I think this is the one that was watching. Because there was a Khajiit and a human having sex, and then there was another one just standing out the window being like, oh, what? Let me see what's going on.
Yeah, but there was a few different bits, because, like, even when both of the Khajiits and the human were together, there was still, like, okay, those two are doing things, but you're just there by yourself, you know, pleasuring yourself, and that's fine.
Yeah, I think maybe, like, they're all in a relationship, because otherwise that's kind of weird.
I didn't think too much about the plot.
I was masturbating outside. Can I come in and fuck you? Like, what?
I really liked I think it was a first person shot where the Khajiit is holding onto the man's head and pushing and pulling it in and out with the head between the legs shot, where it's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna like take your head and lead you with what you should be doing. I'm a big fan of that
What is this vagina mod they're using? It's incredible.
It is a good vagina mod.
Yeah, because, like, the dick's going in, and then the labia is stretching to the dick, and when the Khajiit was masturbating, the labia is stretching to the fingers, but it's, like, a different amount. What is this, man? Also, wouldn't you think that a blowjob from a Khajiit would kind of hurt because cats' tongues are rough and they have teeth? Or maybe he's into it.
And those teeth. Woo.
Actually, maybe he's into it, you know? Some people are, like,
nice little bit of dick torture.
Yeah, maybe they like the dick torture, you know?
So one thing I didn't expect to enjoy quite as much as I did is the purring. The purring was oddly nice. Is that weird to say?
No, I don't think it is, because we're looking at cats and they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah,
and purring is kind of sexy. There's lots of people who roleplay as cats and stuff.
It was just like, I think it was just the fact that it signified enjoyment. It was like, never a thing I thought I would find sexy in a porn, but okay, yeah,
but
purring.
Here we are.
Here we are, I guess.
Yeah, that's how it goes, where you go, that's weird, and then you look at it and you're like, no, I love it.
It's like,
I feel like that was preferable for me to because some of the sounds in this were like really distracting.
I will agree with you there.
Some of them were a little
animalistic,
over the top. You know, like rawr.
No, not just like the woman like pretty much like screaming in parts of it, and I was like, all right, I understand that you're enjoying yourself, but it's like when it gets to the point where like I am noticing that more than anything else, you know?
Yeah.
I know that some people like that, but
no.
I like the part where the Khajiit, this is just my personal preference, one Khajiit is holding the guy back with her arms and legs around him so he can't move, and the other Khajiit is just sucking his dick. And it's just, it's like hot to me because it's like, ooh, he can't do anything about it.
I know, it's like, oh no, you're trapped getting your dick sucked. Oh no.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Oh, no.
It was mildly distracting to me that none of the mouths opened. So like, when blowjobs were happening, it was just kind of the dick going into the face.
I like that all the Khajiit were always smiling.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah. I like that there was some good boob bounce going on as well. There was definitely better boob bounce in this than there was in the first one we talked about.
How do you feel about the nude Khajiit body model? I'm praising the vagina for days.
I think generally it was a well-made body model, even if it probably should have had a bit more fur on it. Mm-hmm. Or at least in my head, I imagined it would have more fur.
See, like, if a happy medium to me when I'm looking at things like this, like, wouldn't it be kind of cool, like, it doesn't have to be long hair, but like really short, like 1/4 of an inch long hair that's just like, you know,
exactly.
Like, imagine a boob with like soft fur on it. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool.
I think that seems cool. What did you guys think of the orgasm camera effect?
I like being intimately close to orgasms, so, like, you know, it's happening.
Yeah, I found that kind of preferable to, like, how the camera would shake and it would get, like, that blurring around the edges, rather than the, like, squelch noise that we normally get.
The confirmation squelch?
The confirmation squelch.
Actually, you know what? That is true, because it's confirming the orgasm is happening without... in a different way, I would say.
Yeah. And I don't know. I found that kind of preferable because it kind of reminds you of like an actual orgasm where like the world like kind of blurs around the edges a little bit because that's all you're focusing on.
It wasn't obvious to me initially that that's what it was, and it took me a second to pick up on, oh, that's what they're doing here. And it's probably a more accurate way to do it, and it's less obtrusively like, here's the squelch. I was a fan.
Confirmation squelch, really, they should make a TV tropes. Confirmation squelch.
I did have one question. Why was there like a 3-second shot for no reason of the Khajiit in armor? Just kind of standing there in armor for like 3 seconds and then it moved on.
Because she was walking by, looked in through the window, and was like, "Oh,
was this meant to be fucking the new? Oh, because that was when the new Khajiit turned up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume that she knows them. Like, this is already like, this is my headcanon for this porn. This Khajiit coming home from wherever, the other two, they fuck, but it's like a polyamorous Khajiit relationship. And she's like, oh my god, yay, they're having sex. I'm gonna, like, get myself ready out in the garden. Well, for whatever reason.
Before I get in there.
Well, I want to get in there, but I want to watch for a bit, too, because that's what I'm into. And then she gets naked in the garden, and then she just pops on in like, ready, I'm ready.
Well,
you know?
If that wasn't the case before, it probably is now. You know, you've made it canon now. But yeah, that's everything I had on episode 3. Did either of you have anything else you wanted to add?
I don't think so.
In that case, do we want to go straight to Skyrim Immersive Porn number 9, or do we want to do the 2 short ones first?
Let's do the 2 short ones to mix it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up, let's go to Sexy Young Skyrim Dragon Fuck by Cavafly01. Who wants to kick us off on Sexy Young Skyrim Dragon Fuck?
So this one is basically just, I think it was like 15 seconds or 30 seconds of a guy fucking a dragon who seems into it.
No, the dragon's loving it.
The dragon
That's what
is
I said.
loving it. There's no question the dragon is very into it. Yeah, this is the one, if I remember right, was this the one that had a lot of shots of just the dick going in?
I just want to point out that this is gay porn because all the dragons in Skyrim are male / agender.
Well, that's good. That means that we presumably have some hooray non-straight dragon porn.
I assume, this is my assumption, that all the dragons in the Elder Scrolls identify as male. But there are no, like, quote-unquote female dragons because they were created at, like, the beginning of time or whatever by Akatosh. And so they don't reproduce. They don't have genders.
Well,
but
as we see in the next one definitely has a penis, so...
so therefore, this is gay dragon porn.
This one was, like, completely silent, but it was really high quality in terms of its visuals. Like, that dragon model was impressive.
Yeah, this is great. The tongue. I'm pretty sure that's, what's his face? The main antagonist.
Oh...
Alduin. I think we're fucking Alduin, and this is how we defeat him. Where he's like, wait a second, the world's good. This feels good.
That seems like a much easier solution than having to go all around the world of Skyrim to go do various things and learn to shout from dragons. Just go, hey, big old bad dragon. Are you happy for me to, like, fuck you? And that's, that's it? And we're done? We're cool?
Where are they? It out. Like, I'm trying to figure out from this clip. Where are they? Are they just in a room?
I
thought they were outside.
I thought they were outside on, like, a mountain or something? Or am I thinking of a new way to defeat the dragon?
I thought both of these short ones were outside.
Yeah, I thought they were both outside.
I'm posing it, and it looks... I have no idea what's going on. I give up. Like,
that's fine. Who cares where they're fucking? It's just important that they're fucking.
Yeah, it's true love. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really short one, but it is a very, very high quality model of dragon getting fucked.
Animations. Yeah.
I have very little to complain about it. It's just 15 seconds of dragon getting fucked.
On the side it says small cocks wanted. These local women prefer fucking small cocks.
Oh,
okay.
Well, listeners, I'm sure that ad is of no use to any of you, but if it is, I'm assuming that was on Pornhub.
It's on Pornhub. These are some great advertisements.
Hey, all dicks wanted. All dicks are good. There you go.
I know.
Don't be exclusionary really of big dicks, like... Pornhub.
So, remember last time when we were like, oh yeah, coming 6 times is a lot? They've upped the ante. Now, they're like, my boyfriend came 32 times in a day playing this game. They're up to 32. They keep upping the numbers.
I won't click on an ad on Pornhub until they tell me that it's going to make me come 185,000 times. Then I'll click your ad, Pornhub. Step up your game.
I know, Pornhub's really good for just ads popping up. As soon as you press pause on a video, it just pop-up ads all over the place.
Yeah, and they go away. Like, when you click the thing that says, please close so I can resume the video, they behave, they do it, but while you pause, there's always ads. The other short one we had this week was A New Way to Defeat the Dragon in Skyrim, which was another short one basically about, hey, if you fuck the dragon, that's how you win the game. It's a very similar theme.
Yeah, but this is with a Argonian.
Yeah.
A female Argonian.
Which, for anyone who doesn't know, is basically dragon person.
They're lizard dragon people.
It's close enough that it's basically like, hey, humanoid dragon, fucking big ol' actual dragon.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
She's very Argonian. She is very voluptuous. And the dragon dick...
Voluptuous?
Yeah, I always say it wrong. The dragon dick is that of, like, the animalistic-looking dick that people like to animate.
Yeah,
What? This looked like it looked like a human dick to me.
It's red.
Oh, it just looked like pink compared to the dragon, but I thought it was just a regular dick.
I think it's meant to be like an inhuman dragon dick, I think. Or at least that was the impression I got.
Yeah. I mean, especially because, like, compared to the dragon size, like, it's actually pretty small.
So I always wonder, like, these people who do these really good animations, who are they? Like, are they professional animators in their life? Or are they amateur animators? Are they in college? Who are they? What are their lives like?
I mean, some of them just animate full time and they're supported through Patreon.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, like, how did they start off? Like, did they go to school for animation? Did they work for an animation company and then go, no, my true passion is animating porn? Or, like, what's the story?
In my head, the backstory of every single porn animator is that they were just like, I really want to jerk off to this one very specific thing that does not exist. I'm going to go on Google, search how to do, like, basic animations, teach myself animation at home entirely by myself, telling nobody that I'm doing it, because then people will ask, so what are you learning to animate? Can I see any of your test animations? Not telling anyone that they do it, and just coming home from work each evening being like, oh yes, this will one day maybe help me get a job in the games industry. No, you're doing it because you want to jerk off to that thing that's in your head.
I'm just doing jerk-off material.
Yeah, so that's, in my head, that's it, is they entirely teach themselves to do these animations purely so that they can jerk off to that one specific thing.
That's why I got all those Skyrim mods.
Yeah, in the hopes that, more things to fuck.
Yeah, and, making my Skyrim husband... With the mod I use, like, you can get a strap-on and fuck your husband's mouth. Or, if you're a guy, you can fuck your husband's mouth with your dick or whatever the fuck you have. But if you fuck your husband's mouth with a strap-on, he still gets cum all over his face, and it stays there. And then I used to make him, like, walk around outside with cum on his face.
Oh my god, that's the best. Oh my god. So should we talk about Skyrim immersive porn number 9?
Yes.
So there is an increase in cinematography from episode 3. The person making these has, like, learnt since episode 3, I think. Because it opens with, like, a sweeping camera pan. It's like, oh, you've been learning things.
So this one, the premise is, I think, a succubus has captured a man.
Yes, so we start off with a woman sucking what appears to be Guy Fieri's blood. Wearing a really amazing outfit with,
we should warn that, like, he is struggling a little bit, but later on he seems to enjoy it. But at the beginning he's struggling a little because she's trying to eat him or something. But her outfit is very sexy. And I like how it starts off like his dick is soft and then it slowly gets hard. That's nice.
I couldn't figure out... I didn't actually take that as struggling. I thought that was, like...
Play struggling, or...
Like, play struggling and shuddering with pleasure.
I thought it... I read it more as, like, writhing in pleasure.
Yeah.
The way that someone might do if, their blood wasn't being drained or whatever, but they were just being bitten on the... Like, sort of nibbled on the neck anyway. That's sort of like, oh, that's a thing that's happening.
I like that most of this is happening on an altar.
Oh, I loved all
sex
of the
altar.
I loved all of the imagery in this. It's like they're having sex on the sex altar. All of the like, I'm gonna like stand on your genitals. I was like, okay, I like you, Succubus. You're all right.
I enjoy this type of content, if that makes sense.
This was definitely my favorite episode of the ones we chose.
I like that she's holding him down and making him, he's like just, and well, I guess, I don't know, but he is so overwhelmed with the pleasure that she's giving him. She's like holding him down and like, I'm doing this to you, bro. And
yeah, she's got a really, I always like it when the outfits are just really amazing.
Yeah, her outfit's great.
The outfit to start this is just like, it's really intricate, and it's got like the lace thigh highs and like the elbow length gloves. Lots of squelching in this one.
The bit of her design that I super loved was the wings that sort of like stretch and flex while the fucking's happening. It's almost like rhythmically happening. I was like, oh, I really like that.
Yeah, because it makes it feel like, oh, right, if I was fucking someone with wings, that's what they would do.
Yeah, you want to feel like you could fuck them well enough that their wings would sort of, like, just flex a bit.
What is the vulva vagina mod they're using? Because it's incredible.
Yeah, it's really good. There have been some really good vaginas in Skyrim. Skyrim apparently has good vaginas.
And this isn't even animation. It's like, these are mods that you can get. Like, somebody designed a vagina that would spread open according to what was going into them. That's crazy.
That is crazy. So yeah,
like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm like, good job.
It is good.
You know?
It's impressive.
And I remember the mod we had was the one that gradually gets hard. That's the one that we had for Skyrim romance mod. Remember, Stacy? Who did that has to be difficult, right? Having a penis going from flaccid and, like, not as big to erect and bigger? That has to be tough to mod, right?
That seems like a difficult thing for someone that has no real knowledge of game development. That sounds difficult.
What if these are all, like, really hardcore video game developers who just like to make Skyrim mods?
Maybe it is just, like, game developers that are like, I worked out how to make, like, erection tech, but no game company wants my tech. I guess I'll put it out on the mod servers, because I learned how to do this, and I don't want my knowledge to go to waste.
I mean, this seems like one of those, like, quote-unquote passion projects that, like, maybe, you know, a game developer in their, like, day-to-day job, they're like, oh, man, like, all I'm animating is, like, regular, like, battle physics, and all I want to do is animate vaginas, but, like, no one's gonna pay me to do that. And so then they go home and they have, like, this second career as, like, a Patreon, like, animated porn creator.
They're doing God's work. They're helping the community. They're doing it because they love it, not because, you know, it's a passion, and I respect it.
Yeah. There are some specific bits that go on during this that I've not seen in any of the porn we've seen so far.
Yes, same.
So there was, like, initially, like, he's lying on the ground and she steps sort of on his dick to be like, power move. She starts using...
No, she's giving him a foot job.
I was going to say, she initially starts
just,
like...
She's not stepping on it.
Well, she starts with her foot just kind of rested there, not moving, and I at least saw that as a, like, nope, you're under my power, you're not moving anywhere. And then she does start to jerk him off with her foot.
Yeah, you know what? When I was younger, I was like, haha, foot fetishes, they're so dumb. But now that I'm older, I'm like, I kind of get it.
It's still not one that I get, but, like,
I've been with a person who had a foot fetish, and then I was like, whoa, this is kind of fun.
It's not it's a thing that I don't personally get, but I'm like, okay, I don't see... there's nothing about it that, like, explicitly turns me off. It's just, like, I'd never seen the pose that they use in this where it's, like, the 2 feet put together and fucking the gap between the feet.
Oh, you've never seen it?
No, I've never seen that.
That's
Here's
like,
me and my lack of
like
foot fetish
knowledge.
Well, I assume so, but that shows how little I know about foot fetishes.
I kind of really appreciated that this was just, like, so different from everything else we've found. You know? And I mean,
Because she's so dominant?
No, I meant like with the foot play. Like, we haven't seen anything like that yet, you know? Like, the closest...
I was turned on by the foot play, and I don't really have a foot fetish. I was like, this is hot. Like, the way that, like, he was doing the shots of her feet and stuff.
And they do some toe sucking, and actually, it's interesting because she also... Another thing that we hadn't seen was we get first person, her hand in his face with the glove on.
Yeah. That was hot.
And it is at that point that the wings, like, sprout in, I would assume, what is her, like, great pleasure. Because that like, the moment where, like, the wings come out, it seems like she's kind of like, and then the wings come out.
Yeah, that's...
Like, shit's getting real.
That's what I read it, was the more her wings were sort of out like that, the more that she was enjoying it. Which is a really nice visual indicator. I assume she's a
succubus, right?
I guessed so.
I like her hair.
I like her everything. She's really...
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Her makeup was really nice, too.
I think that, like, she should just be in all the porn. Go on, put her in all the porn.
Yeah, who is this beautiful mystery woman?
So yeah, that's everything I had about our porns this week.
You know, her wings kind of look like Sarah Kerrigan's wings.
They look exactly like
they
that.
They do.
Or very similar. And I liked the lighting in the cave atmosphere in this one, too.
It's very romantic. And, well, I don't... You know what? What's going on? Is this like some sort of... They're on an altar. Like, are they... Is this some sort of, like, sexy religious thing?
Well, and then... But for most of the second part, I think they're just kind of, like, on the floor in the corner of the cave.
I just think they thought it was a sexy room to do it in.
Yeah, but I like the idea of fucking on a sex altar. Like, what are they doing? Like, why are they on the altar? What are they summoning?
They're summoning. They're summoning a good orgasm.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the gods will be pleased by their sex.
Gods be praised.
So that's everything I had about that one. Anything else?
I think that's all I had on this one. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
I love the character model of this succubus. Her face is so pretty.
I know.
Cool eyes. Her eyes are like neon glowy pink.
So she's got little fangs.
Good makeup.
Oh, those fangs were cute.
You know how sometimes, like, if, like, a straight male mod maker, like, does the makeup and you're like, no, man, come on. This makeup's good. It's well blended. It's well shaped.
Yeah, like, if this were, like, live action porn where you could be like, oh, I like this person, what else are they in? I would definitely look up more porn of this. I suppose this character model would be like, let's get more of that, please.
Well, you know, here's the magic, Laura. You can open up Skyrim, get that mod, do whatever you want with it.
Are you suggesting that if I want to see more of this specific porn that's in my head, I should learn how to make it?
I'm saying that you can go to loverslab.com and be like, hey, how do I get this from this video? And they'll tell you what to do.
I didn't even...
This is not an advertisement for loverslab.com. This is just like, I'm telling you guys where you guys can fulfill all your darkest and beautiful dreams.
When in the future we do have a sponsor, we will make that very clear, if that is a thing. So yeah, that's everything I had. Is that a good place for us to wrap up?
I think so.
Hooray! We did some more talking about porn. We should probably do self-promotion. Mari, where are you on the internet?
I, along with Stacey, am on the Geek Remix channel, and my personal Twitter and Instagram, Tumblr stuff is just Geek Remix. Find me anywhere. Well, almost anywhere.
Ooh. And what about you, Stacey?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr at Geek Remix a lot. And you can also support Mari and I on Game Wisp. It's like Patreon.
Ah, right. It's like Patreon.
Yeah.
But it's not.
You can find me at Laura K. Buzz pretty much everywhere, particularly Laura K. Buzz on Patreon. That's what pays my bills. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll have another of these soon, probably.
Bye.
Bye, I love you.